Hi, my name is Ray and I am continuing with part 20 of my prostate journey. This time, because I know that the next appointment isn't until 23rd of February 23, I propose to rerun the previous parts. Here are parts 1 to 4. Hi, my name is Ray, or to give you my full title, Raymond Victor Gregory. I'm currently 84 years old and at Christmas will be 85. Very active and visit the gym 3 times a week for exercise, swimming and Zumba dancing. To my surprise, I recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. I thought it would make an interesting subject for a series of videos to document my cancer journey for YouTube. Like all men, I kept putting off my doctor's appointment until now, or at least till earlier this year. To achieve that, I had to turn the clock back and tell you all about my prostate journey. It all started early in the spring of 2022. On my first visit to the doctors, I was a little hesitant at thinking, what am I doing the right thing? But there was no embarrassment at all, simply the opposite. The appointment was fine, asking me what my symptoms were. I told the doctor I was experiencing difficulty in going to the loo to wee, with some dribbling and occasionally seeing blood in my water. A PSA blood test was ordered and done straight away. It shows a raised level of certain proteins in the blood. I also underwent a DRE test, basically a gloved finger up your bum to feel any abnormalities and size of your prostate gland. The whole test, both the PSA blood test and the DRE digital rectal examination, took less than 10 minutes with no discomfort whatsoever. The result of the blood test was reported as higher than normal, so the blood test was repeated 4 weeks later. Unfortunately, the blood test still showed a raised level of PSA and an urgent hospital referral was immediately made. I had my first appointment 2 weeks later. End of part 1. Hi, my name is Ray and I am continuing my prostate story. Part 2 covers my initial Hallamshire Hospital urology appointment, which there will probably be many more to come. On the 28th of April, I received confirmation that an appointment will be made regarding my possible prostate problems, and on the 9th of May I had my first appointment at the Hallamshire Hospital. After my initial wait in reception to be called, I was invited into Suite 2. There, a member of the clinical nursing specialist team ran through the various things that could be and the variety of tests I may need. The first was a repeat testing of my PSA blood test, the same blood test that was carried out at the doctor's twice before. The second was a flow test. This involved peeing into a machine, a funnel, emptying into a measuring jug, sat on a special set of scales that measured quantity over time. Then, after that, an ultrasound scan of my bladder to see the amount of wee retained in my body after emptying my bladder. The nurse also described the process of taking biopsies, bone scans and MRI scans. The tests took most of the afternoon and involved drinking lots of water. I was told that I would be sent a copy of the report on the tests that they had carried out. After that, I was allowed home on the bus, which meant that by the time I got home, I was bursting to go to the loo due to the quantity of water I'd previously drank. The report is shown at the end of part 2 of this video. Hi, my name is Ray. I am continuing my prostate story. As with previous parts, this video will follow a similar format. The appointments letter and results letter. On the 23rd of May 2022, I attended an appointment for my MRI scan of my pelvic and prostate with contrast. I was ushered into a room where I could strip off and put on a hospital gown. A cannula was fitted to my arm, then I waited to be called for my scan. The scan involved me laying on a scanner bed with this cannula in my right arm. This in turn was connected to another tube at the side of the scanner. That provided the contrast that the MRI scan required. The complete scan took about half an hour. The most difficult bit was staying perfectly still for such a long time. You always get an itch where you can't scratch it and trying not to move. After the scan, I was able to get dressed and return home. The results of the scan is shown at the end of part 3 of this video. Hi, my name is Ray and I am continuing part 4 of my prostate story. This is the appointment I've been dreading, the taking of my biopsy. As usual, this video will follow the same routine as previous parts. The biopsy routine is slightly different. It started off similar to other previous visits. Then I was invited into a secure room and had to strip off and put on a hospital gown. I was given 2 injections, supposedly to act as painkiller and antibiotics for the treatment. Then I was given some tablets to take home with me to act as antibiotics due to the nature of the biopsy. I had to lay on my side, bum facing the technician, who proceeded to put a dummy finger part of the instrument up my bum and pressed it against my prostate. It was loaded with needles, 14 to be exact, which were fired one at a time all about my prostate, and pretty uncomfortable experience. After the tests, I had to take a rest for half an hour or so, with a cup of tea and biscuits, till I could pass yet more water for testing. After about 3/4 of an hour, I was deemed okay for release, so I was allowed home to travel home on the bus. Again, I was really needed the loo by the time I got home. The final result being sent to my home doctor, a copy of which is shown at the end of this video. I hope this video has been useful to you. Thank you, Ray.